Guys, welcome to today's tutorial. So for this tutorial, this is what we're going to be building. So it's just a template, just a home page of your website. So these links don't work, it's just a home page. So let me just take you through on what we're going to be building. So this is what we're going to be building for this tutorial, and this is plainly HTML and CSS. These links don't go anywhere. This is plainly HTML and CSS. So we're going to be building this from scratch, mainly plain HTML and CSS. So let's jump in and start building it. So for this, I have an empty index.html and an empty main.css. So just come to your file explorer here and your VS Code, create an index.html and main.css. So for this, just to note, this is not an HTML beginners course. So if you want to learn more about HTML, I have some other videos where I introduce HTML and CSS, but this is not for beginners. So I expect you guys to just code along. So let's just create our normal boilerplate, change the title to company name, then here. So let's go back to what we're building. So the first step is just to create this whole showcase here / header, because we have our showcase here and our header here. So let's try and let's get the top, then before we can get the main body of the website. So let's just assume this is the top. So let's get this top first. So we're going to create a div of top here. Then this div, we have our header and we have our showcase here. So let's start with the header. So in the header we have two main divs. So the first div we have is the div for the logo, that is this here, the logo or the company's name, whatever you want to put in there. So we have a div for the logo, which is just a h1 that says company name. Then we have another div here that takes the links. So let's create another div inside our header tag, new div.links. Then there are another list, then a tags. So in the a tag, let's just put in links in all of them. Let's just have 5 links. Yeah. So let's save. Then I'm using live server. So you click open with live server if you have live server installed, or you just go to you just click here your index.html, click reveal in file explorer, then you just open it. You can just see your index.html here. You can just open it, and this is it here. So I'm going to stick with my live server because of auto refresh. Now you can see we have our company name and we have those links we put in here. So let's start styling this first one we've done. So let's link in our CSS first. Then the name of our CSS is main.css. So now we've linked the CSS. Now, so let's get this top. So basically this top div here is essentially what has this image as a background. This whole background here, you can see this background here, this dude with the suit and the tie, that is the top. And inside that top we have this showcase here, that is this welcome to company name and the buttons. So this is the showcase and this is the header. So in this whole top div we have the header and the showcase. So here in this top, that is the head, this is the header and this is the showcase. Nothing's in the showcase here, so we'll come back to that. So let's style this top first. So we'll do .top to target the top class, give it a width of 100% and a height of 100 VH, that is 100 view height. What 100 view height means is just the complete height of your browser, the way it is like this. So if you save, and let's give it a background color so you can see what we did. So just give background color of red so you can see this. Let's remove that. Let's remove this padding, this margin that is here. So anytime you first open your HTML, there's always an imaginary margin, not imaginary, but you can actually see the margin. There's a margin here, left, right, and also you can see it here. So there's always a margin. So let's take off those margins first because we will not need it. So let's come to the top of our CSS, do asterisk. This asterisk stands for every element in this your HTML file. That's every single element. Remove the margin, put it to margin 0, padding 0, and let's save and come back. Now we've removed it. So now the next step is to make this logo and the links stay side by side each other. So let's do that now. So now to do that, let's get the top. Let's get the top, the header. Now, so I'm going to get this top class, this div top class, and we're going to get the header. Now, so in this header, we're going to do display of flex. Then we'll do justify content space around. Then we'll do align items to the center. Let's save and see. Okay, yes, now you can see we have our items justified space around. So space around means space here, and space here. That means that's what means by that's what justify content space around means. So you have a space here and you have a space here. So if you decide to change it to justify content space between, and let's save and see the difference. Now we set space between, so we need space between this element, this component, and this component here. So but what we want is space around, so let's save it back as space around. Now the next step is to make these links here, give them this spacing here. So now let's target the links. So now the links is in the div header links, another list than the link itself. So now we have to find our way to that place. So we need the header, then we'll go into the class of links, that is the div, then we'll get the another list and the link itself, the anchor tag. Then we'll do margin right of 25 pixels. So we'll do our margin right for 25 pixels. You can see spacing out, or let's do margin left, sorry, margin left of 25. So you see 25 is small, so let's do 45. I know how that will look like. 45 still small. 100. Let's try 100 pixels. I feel 100 pixels will be okay. Yeah, 100 pixels is okay. So now let's remove this default style on the links. So we'll just say text, that underline. So we'll do text decoration and set it to none. Then we'll do color, set the color to black. Let's leave it at black, but later we'll change it to white because of our background here. So now the next step, let's add this our image here. So the image will be at this div here, this place that we'll replace this background color of red with the top, with the image, sorry. So we'll do background URL, then we'll target the URL. So I have the image already in a folder called images. So just create a folder images and put your image in that place, or you just put it in the root folder. But I put my own in a folder called images, and this is the particular image, I guess. Yeah, let's save and see. Yeah, that's the image. Now you can see it's repeating both on the x-axis and the y-axis. So let's remove repeat. So we'll do background repeats and set it to no repeat. Yeah, so it's no more repeating, so it's just one image. Then let's put it to the center. Let's make it so it will fill the whole 100 view width and view height of this browser, so it will span to the right here and like this also. So we'll do background size and set the size to cover. Means it should cover the whole browser. Yes, so this is what we want. It should cover the whole browser. Then we'll set the position to center, so we center it both horizontally and vertically. So we'll do background position, set it to center, both the X and Y axis. Yeah, so it will center it. Now, one other thing you notice in this finished project is that we have kind of a dark overlay. I don't know if you can notice it. There's a dark overlay on top of the image. Yeah, so if you can see, there's a dark overlay here on the image, on the finished product. So let's add that dark image, but before we add it, let's change the color of this text to white. So let's go to the top and set the color. I don't know if this will work, but let's try and set the whole color to white. Okay, that's working. Then the links to white. Let's remove this color here to update it automatically. Oh no, we have to put in the color. Oh. Let's do color for white. Yeah, so now let's add some padding. If you notice, there's a padding here, so let's add the padding. So the padding will be in the header, not in the top, in the header. There is this header here. So padding is giving space inside, while margin gives the space on the outside. So let's add padding. Let's see, 30 pixels. Yeah, 30 pixels is too much. 25 pixels. Yeah, I feel this is okay. Now, to add this overlay here, what we can do is to create a div, a separate div for this overlay, and make it position absolute. So after this class of top, inside that class of top, we'll create a div of overlay there. So now let's target that overlay class, overlay div, sorry. We'll do top, then dot overlay. So this is it. So we'll do position it absolute, not relative. Then we'll do background color to black. So let's save. Now you notice you can't still see anything. Now for this overlay to take up the full screen here, we have to set the width and the height. So set the width to inherit from the parent class. Now what this inherit will do is that it should take, the width should get its value from the parent div. And now if you look at our HTML here, this overlay here, the parent div is top. That is this one we gave the class of top. This div here we gave the class on top. And our CSS, we declared the width to be 100%. So automatically this one, the width will be 100%. So instead of putting 100%, it's better we use inherit. So anytime we change the width of the top class, it will automatically update the one for the overlay. So we set the width to inherit and the height also to inherit. Let's save. Okay, that's not working. Let me see what's going on. Position absolute, background color black, width inherit, height inherit. Okay, we've not saved our HTML. Okay, let me save that. Now you can see the whole screen is black because we've set it to position absolute. Now to make this particular background opaque, just like this, we'll set this background color that is black. Now on VS Code, once you hover over this black style, you see this little box that will come up. Once you hover here, then you see this kind of a slider here. You can slide and select the opacity. Now as you're sliding, put your eye here, you can see you have an RGBA, while this 0.616 stands for the opacity of the current color. Now as you can see, if you put it on 0, it's up now, which is on RGB 000. Let's save. So RGB 000 is automatically black. That is dark black. Now if we adjust this slider, it reduces the opacity level. Now it's on 0.6. If we save, and go back, you can see now we can actually now see through it. Now that is still too dark. Let's open it small to like 0.43 or so. Yeah, now this is better. Now you notice now the overlay has covered both the text and the image, but we want the overlay to only cover the image and not the header, not the header, the navigation of the website. So now let's bring this navigation forward. To do that, we come to our header, do z-index of 1000. So if you don't understand what z-index is, watch the previous video. I explained z-index in full. So we give it z-index of, okay, now okay, I put it in the wrong place. So we should target the logo. We should, where we put that z-index is in this logo here, because we want the logo to come to the front and we want these links to also come to the front. Or let's try something I've not done before. Let's try z-index of -1. I've not tried this before. Okay, it didn't work. Let's put z-index of 0. Okay, still the same thing. Okay, now so let's target the logo. So we can do header, then logo, because it's a class. Then we can now set z-index to 1000. So the logo should come to the front now. Yeah, so the logo is in the front now. So let's do the same thing for the links. Okay, we have our links here already targeted, so we can just come here and paste this over here on this our anchor tag, because we're getting the top, the header, the links, the unordered list here. Then we're not getting all the anchor tags here, and we're giving them z-index of 1000, so they will all come to the front. Let's save. Did I save? Let me see. I think I should get their parent class. Not okay. Let me try something. Let's copy this z-index we put in here. Paste this here. Remove this anchor tag. So let's get the unordered list. Okay, now let me redo what I did before. So, okay, let's leave it like this. Okay, so we're getting the top, the header, and the links div. So this div contains all these links we have here. So we were selecting the div and we're giving it z-index of 1000. So now, okay, we fix that. So the next thing, let's change the font. And see, the font here is kind of ugly. So I'm not going to import any font from Google Fonts. Let's just use our default font. So we'll do font family and set it to Arial, yeah, sans serif, with Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif. Yeah, that's better. Now let's see, what next should we do? Let's give this company name its own separate color, because this company name has a different color from the name, sorry. So let's change that now. So now for it to be able to do that, let's remove this company name here and put a span and put back the company name. So the company word is in its own span. So in that span we can now actually go back and edit it, or we can just do inline styling here. So what's the style color? Now that color, let me use my Chrome picker to get the color. So I have this extension installed on Chrome. Let me see. Okay, that's the color. Copy it, go back. So let's paste it in now here and see if Now you can see the company name now has its own different color. Now, so the next thing we're going to do is this showcase here. Welcome to company name. Then these two buttons we have here. Now you can notice these buttons also have some hover effect. So when you hover, the text color changes to the orange kind of color, as you can see. So let's do this whole welcome to company name and the buttons. So now first thing, for us to be able to do that, we'll come to this our showcase here. Let's see what we first do first. Let's see. Welcome to company name. Okay, let's do a H1 with welcome to company name. Then we'll have a separate div. Then we'll do buttons. Then we'll have button with class of let's do btn1. There'll be two buttons. Let's copy this down. Then we'll use this. You do btn2. Then what text do we put in there? Subscribe and explore. Subscribe and explore. Okay, so we've given our buttons the class. Let's see our progress. Okay, we haven't saved yet, so let's save our files and come back. Okay, now you can see we have our text here and our two buttons here. So our main goal is to bring this text here and the button below with this hover effect and the whole transparent background. So let's first center everything here. So now let's go get our showcase, then showcase, then let's do display to center everything, flex, then we'll do justify, content center, align items to the center, then we'll also do flex direction to color. Now you can see that it has taken the now let's make it come to the center. Let's see, let's give it let's give our header a height of let's see 20 view height, or let's do 10. 20 is too much. 8. Okay, 8 is okay then. Now you remember we gave our top, that's the parent class, this top div, we give it a height of 100 vh. Now in that height div, the header has taken height of 8 vh. Now so what will be remaining is 92 view height to complete this 100. So we'll now give our showcase height of 92 vh. So that should center it. Yes. So let's do justify content, give it width 100%. Yeah. Let's reduce this height so that stuff can be in the middle. Let's try 70 vh. Yeah, I feel 70 vh is okay. Now let's get this H1. Let's give it Z index of 1000. Okay, let's get our showcase, then get our H1 and let's give it Z index of 1000. then margin bottom of 25 pixels, then our button, let's see, let's give it 35. Okay, so now let's get our button. So we have a div of btns there. Let's give it a width of 30%. We'll also use flex for this display. Flex, justify content space between align items to the center. Okay, 30% is too much. 20 is still too much. Let's try 15. Okay, I feel 15 is okay. Now let's give it its own z index. Yeah, so let's get the buttons themselves. So let's try and get these buttons here and give them the right styling they deserve. So let's just copy the same stuff here, then let's get btn1. We're going to just give them the same style. Dot btn1 comma dot btn2. So we're going to give it width of, let's say, 100 pixels. Okay, 100 pixels. Let's try 120. Just hold on a bit. Okay, 120 is too much. Let's give it 100. Okay, 100 is okay. Let's give it height of 50 pixels. Yeah, I feel 50 pixels is okay. Then also let's give it a border radius. So yeah, let's give it a border radius. So to give it a curved edge, just like this one's curved edge. So let's give it border radius of 10 pixels. Okay, 10 pixels is okay. Let's give it border 1 pixels solid white. Okay, so we've given it border 1 pixels solid white. Then let's make the background transparent. Background color transparent. Okay, so it's transparent. Now let's change the color to white. We've changed. Now let's add transition to it, so it has this kind of smooth entry. Transition, let's give it 0.3 seconds. Is okay. Let's do transition on 0.3 seconds. Then is in dash is in and out. So let's save. Yeah. Now let's add this hover, that when we hover over it, the text, the color of the text will change. So let's add that. So let's copy the same thing here. Then let's just type in hover here. And we'll do, when we hover, we want to change the color of the color of the text of the button to this color we use here. Okay, so okay, I have to do it individually. So the button showcase. Let's remove this here. Okay, you can see it's working. So let's do it for the same thing for the first button. So btn 1 now. So now let's see. Yeah, so we're making progress. So now let's add a cursor of pointer. You can see when we hover it has this pointer kind of cursor, so that will be easy. Let's set cursor. Let's set the cursor to pointer here. Now you can see when we hover it gives it this pointer look. So now let's edit this our text here. Just welcome to the company name. So to do that, let's first increase the font size. Let me close this here. Give it font size of, let's see, let's give it 45 pixels. Yeah, 45 pixels is okay. Now let's give it our company name on its own span, because if you can look at the finished project, this company name has its own color. So let's change that. So let's cut this out, put it in a span, put it, then change the color and give it a style, sorry, then change the color to this color here. Now you can see we've changed the color. So welcome to company name with a different color. So you can see now, let's change this thing back to 100 view 98. It's meant to be 90. Let's change it back to 98 view height, and let's see. Let's try 90. 85. Let's see. Well, I feel 85 is okay. So we've done our link, the logo, the links, the showcase, and the buttons. Now let's make these links here that when we hover over them, the color also changes. So let's come back here to where we got our anchor tags. That is the A tags, because our links are these A tags here. So let's get it and do hover on it. Then we'll set the color to this our color here. Then let's add the transition all for 0.5 seconds. Then it should ease in and out. Okay, you can see the transition there. See, let's see. Wow. Something is wrong. Okay, I've seen it. It should be together here. Yes, you can see the hover effects. So now let's see, we're done. Basically, we're done with this top part of the website. So now let's go into this place. That is the next point of the website. So let's go back to our VS Code. So now outside this top, so we can close this top. We're done with the top. So let's now create a new section. Let's create a new section with a class of, let's say, services here. Now in this section we have two things. This is a div. This image and this text are together in a div. Then this image and this text are together in a div. So this services, this section of services, we have two divs inside. So let's create div of, let's give it serve1, then another div of serve2. So we have a div of class serve1 and another div of class serve2. So now this div will now have another div of text, while this div will now have another div for image, because if you look now inside that div, there's a separate div for the text and another div for the image. So inside the div for the text we have a h1, so I'm just going to use lorem, just a dummy text. Then we have a paragraph. Let's do that should be lorem 50, I think I used for that one. Let's just try lorem 50. Or let's do lorem, I think lorem 50 is small. Lorem 100. Yeah, I feel lorem 100 is okay. So we have our text. Then this image, let's just save and know and see how far we've gone. So you can see we have our text here and our paragraph here. So let's copy the same thing, because we're basically going to have two of these here. So we have one of these and one of these here, so we're going to have two. So let's just copy everything in this service one. That is the div of text and image, and paste it in here. So now we have two of this now. So now let's jump in and style it. So let's get our services. Sorry, we have this section here with the class of services, so that's what we're getting. So let's try and edit it. Let's do it display of flex, align, let's align items to the center, then justify content to the space between, and you can see we're making progress. Now let's get the images, or let's edit this ones one by one. So let's first edit service one dot sub one. Let's give it background color red. Copy the same thing so we can edit serve2 also. Serve2 should be blue. Yeah, okay. So let's see now. Let's get their images. Sorry about that. Let's get their images. Let's open this back. So let's start from service 1. So we'll do service 1, then we get the image class here. So this is the image class. Later we'll fit in our image into that place. Or for that image we might just use background image, but later we'll decide on what we'll put there. So for this image, let's do width. Should take up, let's see how many percent of width it should take. This should be 30%. Let's say width of 30%. Then let's give it a background color so we can see what we're doing. Of, let's say, purple. So something is wrong. Let's give it height of inherit. So there's something There's something wrong here. Let's see. Okay, let's give this service one a width of 50% and service 2 also a width of 50%, and let's see. Okay, so that's not solving it. So let's give it a height. Let's give services a height of 50 VH. Then this one's to height of 100%. Okay, now I can see the problem. So let's give it back. Let's give it to a height of 100%. Okay, so let's display this service. Okay. Let's do display flex. Justify content to be space between align items to center. Let's remove this height 100%. That was never the problem. Something is wrong. So wait, let's put it back. Okay. So let's get our text here. Let's txt. Where's my caps lock on? .txt. Then let's give it a width of 70%. Okay, now so this is taking up 70, this is taking up 30. So this will be where our image will be. Okay, please let's remove this align items of center first. Okay, better. The same thing. So this is our we're currently working on our service 1. So we'll also change. Whatever we're doing here will be exactly the same to we do for our service 2. That is this other div here. So let's do the same thing. Let's just copy everything here, or let's just copy everything here and replace it with this. Then we'll just change everything here with service 2, and service 2, and let's save. Okay, now you can see they have the same styling. Now let's edit this our text here so we can make it look more decent. So let's do this text div. Let's first give it a padding of, let's say, 25 pixels. Okay, that was for service 2. Let's see, 25 pixels is okay. Let's do the same thing for service 1 text also. Okay, I think it's okay. Now let's target the H1. So I'll copy the style in here, paste it so I can target the H1. So the H1 should have a margin in the bottom of 10 pixels. Why I did that margin of 10 pixels is to create a space between the header and the paragraph. So let's save and come back. Okay, 10 pixels is too small. Let's do 20. Come back. Okay, I think 20 is okay. So let's do the same thing here for service 2. Yeah, okay, so now let's edit the paragraph. So let's get the paragraph, and basically what I'm going to just do for the paragraph is to edit the line height. So we can just do line height and give it line height of 30 pixels. Let's see. Okay, that's 30 pixels. It's too much. Let's just do 25 pixels. Yeah, 25 pixels is okay. So let's copy the same thing and change it for service 1 also. So we have the same styling now. So let's remove this background color so our work will look more decent. Let's remove all these background colors. We will not need them again. Okay, I think it's looking better now. So now let's add in our background images here. So I don't know if we should add the images direct here. Let's use background image. Let's use background image. So we'll do background. We'll use background image here and URL. Let's get images. Then this is the image. You can use any image you want. So let's do the background position to center. Background position center. Then background size to cover. Basically the same thing we did before. Wow. Okay, now you can see our first image has come. So let's copy the same styling here for our second image. So I'm just going to change this image. This image will be this one here. Yes, I think we're making progress. So I think 50 view height is too much for this. So let's change the view height for this service. Let's change it to 40 view height. Okay, I feel 40 view height is okay. The height of this image should be, the height for this image div should be 100%. Sorry, 100%. So let's see that I change it for service 1. That is not okay. Service 1, service 1, service 1. Service 1 height 40 VH. Please hold on, let me check out something. Should make this 100% here. Okay. These images are meant to take up the full screen. Let's give this service 1 a background color so we can actually check some. Let's check. Okay, it's actually taking up the full 100%. It's the text. The text is overflowing. So let's change the line height of this text from 25 to 20. Okay, let's try 21. Yeah, I think that's okay for us. Let me change the same thing for this one. Okay, so that's fixed it. So let's remove this background of red. So I feel we'll fix this one. Now the next step is to do this this state of marketing attribution. So I actually got this whole inspiration from a website. Let me know if I can pull the website up. This particular write-up and this image I got it from a website. So let me pull the website up here. So this is it here. So this is where I got the idea of that from. As you can see, there's the state of marketing attribution. So, but I just got the write-up and the image from this website. So moving on, let's get this. So this has its own section. This has its own section which will have a background image to here. It will have a background image here with an overlay also. So let's go back. So let's close this services. We're done with services. Now we'll create another section. What should we name this? Let's just name it about. In this about, we'll have two divs. So guys, let's create a div for the left. So let's start with the left. Div dot left. So now we have our left div. So let's see what is remaining. So we'll need this kind of a badge, like something, a h1, then paragraph and some list. So let's go one by one. Let's first get a span with guide, then h1. Let's just copy the text there. Then this paragraph. Then we have an ordered list there. So let's copy what's there. Yeah, 3 of them. So then let's do our right. Let's see how far we've gone. Okay, now let's start styling there. So back to our main.css. Okay, back to our main.css. So let's go click dot about. Let's give it 100% width. We'll give the about width of 100%. Then let's give it a height of 80, view height, then background of red, so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so now now this about also have an overlay, so let's just add the overlay. So let's add that and put that out of the way. Okay, so now let's get the image. Let's do the image. The image. Let's get that image class. Right class. Sorry, the right is where the image will be. So for the right, let's give it background color. Let's give it a width of 40%. Then background color of blue. Then if we're giving this one 40%, let's do the same thing for the left. Left will now be 60%. So 60 plus 40, that will give us 100% of the full screen. So instead of blue, let's use purple. Sorry, left. Okay, so that's right. 40%. Let's make sure I'm getting the right thing. Okay, let's set the height to 100%. Yeah, so that's it. Now, so for the about, so it's going to be flex. We're going to display it flex. Then we'll justify. Let me see. Are we justifying space around or space between? I think we're going to be justified space around. Yeah. Justify content space around. Let's make this 55% so we can see the space around here. So let's see. So here, this place will take in this our image here. While this place will take this text. So let's reduce the size of this one to 40 something percent. I think that's what we used here. And let's check 30. Well, let's use 25. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's okay. So now let's take off this background color of red and this purple. Let's leave the blue there because that blue represents our image. Now let's let's leave this left purple first. Let's give this left a padding of 30 pixels. Now let's get that span. So let's get this span. Now in this one, this span here, it has a different look. It has a kind of rounded pattern. So this, for this, we'll do dot left, then span. Then we'll get the let's give it a pattern. I think it should be a padding of, we'll do padding top and bottom 8 pixels, then left and right 18 pixels. Then we'll give it background color of color here. Then let's give it border radius of 10 pixels. Yeah, and let's give it margin at the bottom. Margin bottom of 20 pixels. Let's do 30 pixels. Okay, let's see, we're making progress. So let's add the background for this about. So let's add that background here. Let's do the background. So in this about, we'll do background URL and ./images, and this is an SVG. So our normal settings for the background. So let's just copy it here. I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I'm just doing the position, center, size, cover, repeat, no repeat. So you can see we have our background there. So let me remove this background of purple. Let's save. Let's go back and see. didn't save. Okay, I've saved it now. Okay, so we've seen. Let's change the color for the left to white. So everything now is having its shape one by one. Now, okay, I forgot something. Now you will notice in this place we have this kind of fixed scroll at the background here. So there's a kind of fixed scrolling at the background. So for us to put in that fixed scroll, let's go back to that our top. This is something I should have done earlier. So this top, we'll set the background attachment, we'll set it to fixed, so the background will be fixed while we're scrolling. So let's refresh. Now you can see we have that fixed background here, so the background does not move, the background is fixed. So that's the same thing we're going to use for this about here, this background here. So let's go back to our about here and put background attachment of fixed. Sorry, background attachment fixed. So you can see it also has that fixed scrolling. So let me arrange this items at the left here. So let's get left and let's get the H1. Let's do the H1. Let's increase the font size. Do we need to increase the font? Yeah, let's increase the font size. So we'll do font size. Let's give font size of 25 pixels. Yeah, I feel that's okay. Then we'll do margin bottom. Margin bottom of 18 pixels. Yeah, so it has this space at the bottom. And let's also do the same thing for margin top. Yeah, now let's edit our paragraph. So this paragraph here, that should be the next thing we should edit. So for the paragraph, we're going to edit the line height, the font size. Let's give it a font size also. Font size of 20 pixels. Then let's edit the line. We're going to give it a line height of 30 pixels. Yeah, that's better. Now for the list items. So these list items, what I want to do now, I want to give them margin at the bottom of each one. So this particular list will have a margin at the bottom. All of them here should have a margin at the bottom. So how we'll do that, we'll get our about, then the left, then we'll get our ordered list, then our list items. We'll give all of them margin bottom of 20 pixels. Yeah, so that's our margin bottom of 20 pixels. So you can see we're making good progress. Then this paragraph, oh sorry, this paragraph should also have margin bottom. It should have margin bottom of let's see, it should have margin bottom of 20 pixels. Let's save and see. Let's try 25. Why did I keep pressing Ctrl S? This is 25 pixels. Okay, that's better. Now let's put in our image. So for the image, we have our div right here already for the right. Then we'll just put in image, then the source should be ./ our images, our images folder. Then we'll get the image we used is this one, I guess. I don't think I have the image here. Let's just use this. Okay, yeah, this is the image here. So that's the image. Let's save and go back. Okay, you can see we have our image there already. So for this right now, let's add overflow hidden to hidden. I've not saved yet, so let me show you now. You can see this part of the image is overflowing out of the div. So if you do overflow hidden, it should hide it. Yeah, as you can see, it has hidden the image. So let's set the width of this image to 100%, the height to 100%. Yeah, you can see now it has taken the full width of that right container. Now let's make this stuff a little bit aligned. So let's make this image and this text align each other, just like the way we have it here. So let's make them align each other. So to do that, we just have to adjust the width of our right a little bit. So the right should be, let's try 45%. Okay, let's try 46. So let's do 45 points. It should be 45.5. Let's see. For 45.6. Let's do 45.7. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So now we have our image here and the text here. So what is just remaining now is this button for this particular place. You meant to fix in the button and also our overlay. So let's fix in that overlay first. So we've put in our div for the, we've put in the div for the overlay. Now let's fix in the style for overlay. So let's put in dot about dot overlay. Then we'll do its position just like we did it before. Position absolute background color black. Then we adjust the opacity with our slider for on VS Code. So that'll be 40 something. Yeah, let's leave it like this. Then we'll set the width to inherit, the height to also inherit. So let's save and go back. Okay, now so we have our overlay. So let's fix in our Z index. So we'll do Z index 1000. Copy it, put it on our paragraph 2, on our H1 and our image. So let's see. Okay. Oh no, not again. So it didn't work for the let's see what's the problem. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's better. Now, so we fixed in the overlay. Now let's fix in our button here. So let's come down. So the button is still in the left div. So in that place we have left. So we also have a button before we close in our div for the left. So let's come back to our left here, the div here left. Down here we'll just put in the button and say learn more. So let's save. So we have our learn more button there. So now let's just add in our style for the button. So let's go back to our CSS. So we'll do dot about, then the button, then we'll set the padding, we'll set padding for the top and bottom to 20 pixels, then left and right to 100 pixels. Okay, so that's our button. Then let's set border radius to 7 pixels. Okay, now that's our border radius. Then the background color to our orange color. So that's our background color. Let's change the color of the text in the button to white. And also if you notice around the button we have one kind of weird border. So let's change the color of the border to white. So we'll do border, we'll set border to 1 pixels, solid white. Yeah, so that's our border. Let's change the cursor to pointer. So whenever we hover over it, it will be a pointer. So let's do cursor pointer, and let's also add a transition because we're also going to have an hover effect. So transition 0.3 is in out. So why I put in the transition is because when we hover, you can see it has this kind of transition. This is our already done project. So when we hover, we have this kind of dark background. So when we hover, let's put in the hover for this button. So let's get this button here. Then we'll add in hover. So when we hover, we just want to change the background color. So I have a color here. Let me copy the color I used for the project. So that's the background color. Let's save. So you can see, let me go back. Sorry, this window, yeah, this is it. So this button, when we hover, transition, okay, let's add seconds here. So we have to add S here. Let's reload. Yeah, so you can see this smooth transition here. So you can see we're done with this part of the website. So now the next part of the website is this. So this we're just basically going to copy the same thing here. So it's basically the same thing that is here that we're going to copy into this place. So let's just do copy and paste. So we're done with this about. So let's copy the services and paste it down there. Save, and let's go back. So that's what we have now. So we have the top, the about, and we have the services. Okay, so I think let's adjust the width of this image again. I don't know why it changed. Let's see. Right, so let's try 41.7, 42.7. let's do 42.8. That should do. Yeah. Okay, smooth. So we have that. So far this is what we have done. So we're making progress. Now the next part of the website to do is this little information div here, which has the same background as this. So you can see this, the scrolling is actually kind of, the background is actually kind of attached. If you look at it, sorry, it's actually kind of attached to each other, but it's not attached. Why they are like this is because of that property we add, background attachment fixed. So that's what makes it look so smooth and attached to each other, but not attached. So let's do this info. So we have a section with info. Then inside this our info, we also have an overlay. So let's just fix in that. So we have an overlay. Then we'll have our H1, our H3 here, this, and our paragraph. Oh, actually that's the H1. So let's add in, so not in the overlay, in our info, H3, then H1. So let's copy the text. Let me try and format this. Okay, let's copy the one in the H1 here. And paste it here. So we have our H3 and our H1. So let's save and go what we have. Okay, so now let's add our CSS. So for the info, let's just copy the same CSS we used here. So it's basically going to be the same thing, just that we're not going to use, okay, we're going to use display flex. Then justify content should be center. Then we should also align items to the center. Then we'll also do the flex direction. Direction to colon. So the height should be 30 VH, not 50. Yeah, the height should be 30 VH. Yeah, let's change the color. So you can see it. So you can see that background. So what's just missing in this one here? The difference is just the overlay now. So let's fix in the overlay. So let's do .info .overlay. So let's just copy in the style for our other overlay here, which is the same thing. So let's just give our info set index of 1000, and also the H1 and the H3. So let's copy this to make things faster. So the info, let's get the H3 and me give it Z index of 1000. Just let's do which one? So you can see it. let's give it margin bottom of 20 pixels. Yeah, so that's it. We have our overlay now. So the next thing to do is this part of the website. So it's let's just go straight into it. So let's close this info section. We're done. So let's create another section. So let's do section dot what should we call it? Let's give it info 2. So because this is our second information. So now let's break this one into parts. So basically we're going to have 3 divs. So this one is a one div, second div, and the third div. So in this one div we're going to have 2 divs also, one for the image and one for the text. The same thing, one for the image, one for the text, one for the image, one for the text. So let's do that. So in the first info we'll have let's try sec1. Then I'm going to have 3 of them. So 3. So these 3 this thing I created is for this first div, second div, and third div. So in this first div we're going to have 2 divs. So we'll have div 1 for image and the second div for text. So the same thing for this ones here, the same thing for section 2, and the same thing for section 3. So for the text for section 1, I'm going to have h1 with 3 letters. This is lorem 3. Then the paragraph, we're going to have a paragraph there also. So let's copy this here from here and paste it down here. So let's refresh and see. Okay, so this is what we have currently. So now what is remaining is just to spread this, to display it as flex. So let's just go straight and do that. So get our info to do display flex, justify content space around, align items to the center. Okay, so we have that done. Okay, so we just have to adjust. Okay, so let's do for each of the sections. So we'll do info 2 dot section 1 dot section 2 dot section 3. We're going to give it a width of 29% each. We'll give it a width of 29%. Yeah, okay, that's good. Then we're going to do flex to display it, flex, justify content should be center, then align items to be center as well. But I'm going to set the flex direction to be column. So let's save. Let's do the same thing now. Let's work on the image. Let's work on the image here. So let's do info 2 section 1 info 2 section 1. Then let's get the image. Then we'll do background color of red. Let's save and see. Okay, or let's just go straight and add in the images. Let's add in the images for that particular div. So here where we have our image, let's set our images, then this is the image. So let's copy it and paste it everywhere we will need it. So here too, and here. Let's save. Okay. Okay. Let's give it width of 50%. So we should even add the width and the height of these images. Okay, let's target the images direct here on the CSS. Let's target the images. The image, then we'll give it width of 195 pixels, then height of 200 pixels, so it be more like that's kind of a square image. Yeah, so you can see it. So let's copy it down for the same thing. Oh, okay, this one too. Section 2 and section 3. So let's do it for sec 2. Okay, so now let's add border radius to the image. So the image should have a border radius of 50%. Same thing with this one and this one. That will give it a rounded corner. I will give it this round corner look here. So let's add a margin in this info too. Margin top, so it will give it a little bit space here. So we'll give it margin top of 20 pixels. I think that's okay. Then the image div for all of them should also have margin bottom of, let's say, 15 pixels. Let's do 18. So let's copy it and paste it for all of them. Yeah, so I'm making progress. So let's get this H1 and do text align to center. So sec 1, the section 1 dot txt. Then let's get the H1. Sorry, H1, and give it text align to the center. So that will be the center. Let's give it let's increase the font size. Let's give it font size of 25 pixels. Let's say 35. Okay, I think 35 is okay. So let's copy it and do the same thing for section 2 and section 3. Section 2, 3. Let's save. Yeah, so that's it. So let's edit the paragraphs too for each of them. Paragraph. Then let's do line height of 29 pixels. So let's do the same thing for all of them. So this will be for section 2 and section 1. Let's save. So I think that's better now. I think we're done with this place. So the next step is the footer. This footer here, so we have a div divided into 3 places: the company's name, quick links, and the copyright, and this caret here that takes us to the top of the page. So let's go back to our VS Code and let's do our footer. So let's close this info 2. We're done with it. So another section of footer. So in this footer we're going to have a div of inner. So why I created this inner div is because of this inner div. What contains inner div is this one here, this here, and this here. So this one will be on its own separate div. So let's go straight and do div. Let's first look at this one. No need for that. I don't think there should be need for that to be in its own separate div. Or let's put it in its own div, sure, to avoid issues. So let's do div dot footer 1. Then we'll do div dot footer 2. Then we'll do div dot footer 3. So we have footer 1, footer 2, and footer 3. So in our footer 1 is a h3 with company name, which this company is on its own span, which will style differently. So let's get our footer here and do background. And do background color of black, so to be black. So let's set the height of the footer will be 35. I think let's set it to 35 VH. And let's set all the colors to white. Okay, so that's better now. So let's get footer 1 and edit the text. So we get dot footer 1, then the h3. We will set the font size to, let's see, 35 pixels. First of all, let's display this footer flex. Display flex, justify content space around, then align items to the center. Yeah, okay, so that's better now. So let's fix in our footer too. So for this footer too, I'm just going to copy everything I've done there. So it's just basically, so what is there, just a h3 and another list, and the same thing for footer 3. That will be in footer 3. So now let's do this styling for it. Let's see, so let's do dot footer, let's get footer 2, then the h3. We'll set the color to, we'll set the color of that particular h3 to our orange color, then we'll give it a margin at the bottom. Have 25 pixels, then we'll give it a font size of 22 pixels. So we're going to copy the same thing and do the same thing for footer 3. So now let's do the h1 for the another list. So we get dot footer dot footer dot footer 2, another list, then the list items. So we're going to, for the list items, we're going to give it a list style of none, to remove the bullet points that come default with them. Then we give each of them a margin bottom of 15 pixels, then cursor of pointer. I'm kind of rushing because the tutorial is already becoming too long, so transition or 0.3 seconds, because we're going to add over on this. So let's copy this and do the same thing for, sorry, just for, we're going to copy it only once for footer 3. So let's save. Wow, why is it like this? Should be let's set it to 100%. Something is wrong. Okay, let's see. Footer 3, footer 2, footer 1. Okay, the display flex we were meant to do was meant to be for the inner div, because we created a div for inner. So let's do footer dot inner, then remove all these ones, and let's save. And let's try it again. Okay, yeah, this is better. So the inner, let's give it a padding of 25 pixels. Yeah, okay, I think this is better now. So let's add, sorry about that, let's add a hover effect. So when we hover over this, just like this, hover to give us this effect here. So let's just get this, our list items here, then we'll add hover. So when we hover, basically what we want to do is, when we hover, what we want to do is to just change the color of the text. Set the color to this. Okay. So let's do the same thing for our footer too. So footer 3. Yeah, so we have the same hover effect here. So let's add our copyright. So let's minimize footer 1, minimize footer 2, minimize footer 3. So let's add div of copyright. That will be in, okay, that should not be the inner div, that should be in directly in this section of footer. So that for that copyright, we're also going to have a h3 that will say copy. Sorry, can you capital letters? Copyright. Then the copyright symbol, which is and copy. So that's the copyright symbol in 2020. Then company name. So this company will be in its own span. Then we should add a style, then color of that there. So let's refresh and see. Okay, that's getting better. So now let's edit the copyright, the text. So just do dot copyright, then history text align to center, and let's increase the font size, or let's give it a padding first, a padding of let's see, let's give it a padding of what should be good, let's try 25 pixels. Wow, why is it overflowing? Okay, you know what will happen, let's set the height of this our footer to automatic, to auto. Now I'll fix that. Okay, now let's change the font size of this to let's say 28 pixels. 20. I think that's too much. Let's try 25. I think 25 is okay. So now let's add this word spacing in the H3. So we're going to set letter spacing. Letter spacing, I'm going to set it to 8 pixels. Yeah, so that's the letter spacing. So the next thing is to add this our caret here, this angle up that will take us to the top of the page. So let's come back to our div here. Inside this copyright, let's just inside this copyright, they add the h1 with the caret symbol. So let's get the h1. So it's basically almost going to be the same styling for the h1. The padding will be a little bit smaller. Let's give it 10. There will not be letter spacing. There's something funny happening here. Let's remove the pattern. So let's just put it directly in the section and give it a class name of top. So instead of this, we'll just do dot top, and let's do text align to the center. It should work. Okay, let's save this. I've not saved our HTML. Wow, what happened here? Wow. Okay, you know what happened? Let's just take this back up to our copyright. So let's just take everything back. Oh, something is wrong. Let me load it again. Let's undo everything we've done first. Let's set the cursor to pointer. Then the color to our color here. Okay, so actually it should even be an anchor tag. Sorry, because it's going to be a link. So let's change from H1 to anchor tag. Save our HTML. Text. Sorry, text. Decoration. Text align to the center. Let's just use the old center tag to try and center it. Okay. So now let's set our href to hashtag top. Now, so let's go to our top div here. And let's set an ID of top. Come back here and to enable this smooth scrolling that we have here, we're going to set the scroll. We're going to come here, select our HTML, and set the scroll behavior to smooth. So let's come down, click this. Yeah, so that's our scroll here. So guys, I think we're done. That's basically it. So this is the finished product, and this is the one we just did now. So basically there's no difference. There's no difference in it. So guys, I think that's all. I hope you liked it, so please like, subscribe and share the video if you found it helpful. Thank you. See you another time.